Hello and welcome to another edition to our Lost Building series. Today we are filming by the Albemarle Sound to talk about the Sahara property. Sahara started as a business partnership between Josiah Collins III and Ebenezer Pettigrew in 1836 to grow mulberry trees for silk production. We do not have much information from Josiah's perspective on how this partnership came about, but we do have some letters written by Ebenezer Pettigrew. And this excerpt from a letter Ebenezer wrote to Josiah in December of 1836, he seems extremely reluctant to financially participate in this venture. He writes, quote, "On the subject of a partnership in the silk culture with you, I have concluded to unite with you provided the sum which I can now advance without being too much cramped will suit your convenience at this time. I can draw on New York for $700, and I have a note of Dr. Warren's on which there are upwards of $300 due." We see Ebenezer's reluctance in full when he writes to his friend James Johnston about this investment in December of 1836. Quote, "I have agreed to become a partner, and it is expected to buy a sandy piece of ground and commence forthwith. I fear I have done wrong. This is confidential." Just 1 month later, Ebenezer wrote again to Johnston, quote, "With regard to your remarks on the subject of the silk culture, I agree in every word, and have to regret the course which I have taken, and how to get out of it with honor, I know not." Even with his reluctance, after the fact, there was no reasonable way for Ebenezer to back out. Between May 9th and September 19th of 1837, Josiah Collins and Ebenezer Pettigrew purchased more than 560 acres of land they called Sahara, fronting on the Albemarle Sound near the present-day Albemarle Sound Bridge. The sandy loam was perfect for a venture in the tree-growing end of the silk production business. When William Tarleton wrote his report on Somerset in the 1950s, he touched on the Sahara partnership. Quote, 40,000 mulberry seedlings were started, and 2 years later sales began. A primary source of information for us are some pages in Josiah's ledger book under the heading of Silk Concern at Sahara. These entries give us amounts paid to various people for purchases of equipment and trees and interest paid on these investments. In January of 1839, we see that enslaved artisan Juba Martin was hired out for 2 days at $1 per day, while Joe Welcome, an enslaved brick mason, and a boy were hired out for 2 days at $1.50 per day. This money was not paid to them, but rather to Josiah III, and came from the business of Sahara. The ledger entries also include items such as 20 pounds of nails, 25 panes of glass, 15 bushels of herring, 1 sheep, lamp black, marking brush, twine, and 1/2 gallon of spirits of turpentine were all delivered to Sahara. These entries seem to indicate that there were some buildings being constructed at Sahara. Another ledger entry in June of 1839 reveals Josiah and Ebenezer earned over $14,000 each in profits from the Maryland Silk Company. Despite these perceived profits, the partnership between Josiah and Ebenezer did not last long. By 1842, both Ebenezer and Josiah sold Sahara to Josiah's brother-in-law, Edward Riggs. According to William Tarleton's 1954 report, quote, "This business was one of those speculative bubbles that finally collapsed ignominiously with ruin to many investors. Collins and Pettigrew were luckier than most and apparently came out of it without any real financial loss." That's what we have for this addition to our Lost Building series. We hope to see you back at Somerset sometime for a guided tour. We're open year-round, Tuesday through Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified of our new uploads. And until next time, thanks for watching.